Hey, what's up guys? It's TechSumer talking to you here. And in today's video, I want to talk about VR. Specifically, VR state. And if it's worth it to actually keep pursuing this VR dream. Just like Meta is doing. And I gotta tell you, I have some thoughts. Because I don't think it's a black and white situation. I think VR has a place on the future. Because Apple released the Vision Pro. And Vision Pro is the device that actually defines the borders between AR and VR, but blends it in very, very well. And there's a lot of discussion if it's VR the future or AR the future, but I don't think it's that like black and white. So after 2 weeks of using the Meta Quest 2, yes, the cheapest VR headset, it has some AR capabilities, but they are not really that good. I want to talk about if it's worth it to keep pursuing this VR dream, or what use cases can we give it for the future with glasses like the Vision Pro or headsets like the Vision Pro or the Apple Glass that is rumored. So if you are excited, don't forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get started. So VR. VR is a really weird place because currently VR has kind of died out. The hype over VR has kind of died out. Before, in the last like 3 years, especially on the pandemic times, VR was really, really great because everyone was stuck at their homes and they were using the VR. Everyone was dreaming about the metaverse from Meta, Facebook. And that concept like changed a lot of lives. Since then, a lot of people have actually spent more time on VR than on real life. They like to work on VR. They like to play games on VR. They like to meet with their friends and socialize on VR. But I'm not an extremist. I don't think that would be the future, just like we are thinking the future, just like Ready Player One, where everyone lives on a VR world. No, I don't think so. I think the future will pass more like Apple predicted with Vision Pro, with an AR headset that is capable to display sometimes some VR things. Not every time. The most of its use will be on AR because I think that the future will rely on adding more to reality, not replacing it. And that's something that the Meta Quest 2 does very poorly. It's a really good, really great VR headset. But as an AR headset, it's actually really poor. There are some really good headsets that are really cheap, like the Unreal Air or other brands, but those are not really an AR glasses. Those are like glasses that can cast a screen on front of you, but it cannot map your area, cannot put displays wherever you want to. They are also on your front, on your horizon. So it's not great. But the big first AR headset I've ever seen was Google Glass. Google Glass was truly the first innovator on the space. Very, very early on its time, and that's why I think it failed. Then we got Microsoft HoloLens. This was created by Microsoft for a business environment, for factories, for businesses, not for the normal consumer. The Apple Vision Pro is the first AR consumer headset, and I think it will succeed. This has everything for Apple to be successful with this lineup. While the Meta Quest 2, which is the headset I have right here, is really good VR headset. And it actually changed my perspective on VR. After Apple launched the AR headset, the Vision Pro, I was kind of skeptic about VR. I was thinking like, is it good? Is it good to spend money and resources and make our headsets more expensive just to make them VR capable? Even our AR headsets. And after 2 weeks with the Meta Quest 2, I think it is. Because VR, I think it's worth it to pursue in the future. It has some use cases. For example, the first one that I thought it was incredible was watching movies on VR. Watching movies on VR, it seems like dumb, but it's really, really cool. Like, it's not as just like putting a movie on your settings, on your reality, and watch it on the corner or have multiple displays on your room. No, it's like entering a new universe, like the room that you want, the atmosphere that you want. Do you want to watch it on a lake with a huge screen, 200-inch screen? You can do it at the comfort of your own home. And that's the big advantage of VR. Even if these glasses turn up to be portable one, just to take it on a plane, watch a movie on a plane on a 200-inch screen with no one bothering you because you are on a VR experience with Dolby Atmos, you'll be able to feel like you are engaging with the movie and immerse on the movie much, much more. You will enable developers and directors to create more immersive movies with new technologies for you to be involved on this movie. I actually think the future will pass that everyone will watch movies on VR. It just makes sense. It's just a better way to watch it. Imagine like 2D, then there was 3D, and then we have 4D. But I think this 4D experience or 5D in the future will be, like I told you, on VR. You will be on the character's head. So you will be one of the characters of the movie, you will interact, you will have lines. It will be so cool to watch. Oh my god, I'm so ready for that future. This is the first use case for VR that I found that I think that it's almost for certain it will happen. The second and obvious use case will be gaming. I think that AR gaming sometimes is fun, but most of the games that we have seen are really gimmicky. VR gaming, it's very sad because you are truly immersed on the game. You feel like you are one of the characters. Again, goes back to the same factor of the first point, which is immersiveness. VR can make you even more immersed on that strange reality, on that cartoonish reality, on that made-up reality. Not your own reality, but the director's reality, the movie's reality. And that's where these VR headsets shine. Even the MetaQuest 2, which is poor 1080p screens, which for now are actually good, but when compared to Apple Vision Pro screens are really poor, it creates an immersion level that I was not used to. Playing games, Population 1, I felt truly immersed on a FPV game, which I had never done, like a first-person shooter game. Then, of course, there's the Golf one, which at first it seems weird and it seems like an overpowered Wii, but after a while, no, it's actually really cool. You actually forget that you are on VR and you think you are really playing golf. I know that the graphics are not great, but still, you actually immerse on that reality and you get emotionally attached to that reality. And gaming, movies, I think it will make a huge leap on VR in the future with better technology, better movies, better content. I think VR will reign on that matter. And I think we'll find ways to connect ourselves to a metaverse-like style, to watch movies together, to play games together, just like we do currently with consoles or the cinema. I guess the future for media streaming and playing games will be VR. That's my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Then we enter the business side. I know I much prefer to have a video call with someone real. But right now, imagine if you are at home, your home is not ready, and you want to enter a video call and work together on a virtual headspace. I think that would be a very niche, but very helpful situation. And I think VR will also live through on that one. I think that virtual workspaces, virtual meeting rooms will still keep happening. Places where people don't feel comfortable socializing, they will go to VR to do it. Although I would prefer if they did it on real life, I think it's better if they do it on VR, not doing it at all. So, again, kind of controversial one, but I think it will still live through. I think no one will stop doing this through VR. Maybe if there are like 10 people instead of 100 or 100,000, there will be still people doing it. And that's where I see VR progressing the least in the next 10 years. And finally, the last one would be business applications. I know, boring, but that's true. Business applications, VR will be extremely useful because you'll be able to immerse yourself on a different environment. Imagine if you are a builder that wants to build something and they want to be completely immersed on a new build. Imagine that. Well, now you will have to imagine yourself the schematics coming to life. If the technology on VR gets good enough, you'll be able to put your headset on and think you are on a VR world with the build created. And you'll be able to walk through it, see the quality of the things, how they look, how they actually ended up being without needing to construct it or actually waiting for the end of the build. So, makes sense. Other industrial applications will be used, and I think that business side will always have VR as a reference. But I think that for the normal consumer, the most things they will do on VR again will be playing games and watching movies, no more. I don't think VR will be that promised land that Meta promised us, Mark Zuckerberg talked about, the metaverse, where everyone will hang out, play games, live their lives 24/7. No, I think VR will be an add-on to AR, which will take over the world. That's my opinion. I think VR will be that use case for sometimes where you want to be total immersed on a new ecosystem, on a new universe. You will use VR for that. Other than that, I think AR will explode. I think that headsets like the Vision Pro will create new experiences, will sell like hotcakes, and they will completely change the future of mankind. While the MetaQuest 2 will be looked through as an ancient product of their times, and I think it will be more than a cheap VR headset. It's a really good one. It enables you to try VR, which is life-changing. Trust me, life-changing. Get one, try it out. I'm not saying it's not a good deal. I'm not saying it's a great product. I made a review this week or last week talking about this headset, and I only got good things to say about it. Maybe the AR experiences could be better. The cameras were truly bad, but that would be fixed on the MetaQuest 3. I hope. And if you are interested on the MetaQuest 3, Then wait for one of my next videos where I will compare the Meta Quest 2 with the Meta Quest 3 and what can we expect from that new Meta product, that mixed reality headset. Other than that, don't forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and tell me, where do you see VR going in the future? Do you think it will die? Do you think it will dominate the world? Or do you think, just like me, it will be an add-on to AR? Let me know of that in the comments down below. This has been Tech Summer talking to you here. Bye-bye.